So your value proposition basically describes the bundle of products and services that create value for that specific customer segment. So you are describing what this person is going to get. Your value proposition helps the person understands or helps the customer understand, when I do business with you or I buy this product, what is the value that I'm going to get. Like going back to the example about Uber, the major thing is convenience. I made the example to say I personally hate taxis, so Uber, I'm a perfect example. I'm a perfect example of a customer segment for Uber. So because I hate public transportation on the basis that I'm not in control of my time, then the convenience will then talk to me. I would rather pay the extra amount, where a taxi probably I would pay 10 Rand to get to a destination, and with an Uber I'll probably pay 100 Rand. I would pay that extra premium because of the value of convenience. So it is very important to be able to clearly speak to value, because in the absence of a clearly defined value proposition, your customer is going to always you're going to always have price level conversations. And unless that is essentially your strategy, but usually when you find customers complaining about price, it's as a result that there isn't a clear there isn't a clear value proposition. So I don't see the value in doing business with you, but for the sake of this, I won't pay 100 Rand. A taxi is 10 Rand. At least charge me 20, then you get into price negotiations because I don't really get the value of what you are selling. So it's very important to be very clear to the value proposition, but the value proposition must be customer facing, not internally facing. So the other mistake we make with value propositions is we table value propositions with the view of the business as opposed to the view of the customer. So in other words, put yourself in the shoes of the customer. And when you put yourself in the shoes of the customer, you're able to then create a value proposition that really talks to them and not to you. So questions to ask yourself is, what value do we deliver to this customer? Which one of our customer problems are we helping to solve? So it pushes you to really understand your customer segments also from a problem perspective. What is that problem statement that the customer is facing? And then which one of those problems are you trying to solve? Also, never try to solve all the customer problems. You're just gonna mess everything up. Just focus on one. What problem are you trying to solve? Like with Uber, they started with one problem of convenience in public transportation. And as they grew their business, then they took the same concept of convenience and put it into Uber Eats. Now I don't have to drive to a Burger King. I can just order from the app. Now they have Uber Connect. I don't need to drive to send flowers to my grandmother. I can just call Uber to go deliver the flowers. So uh, in time you can expand it. So yeah, it's understanding that. And then the third one is, which job are we helping the customer get done? So it's either asking yourself what problem you're trying to solve, also what job are you helping the customer get done. For example, accounting software is like your Sage and your QuickBooks and all these things. What those softwares are helping you do is to consolidate all your financials in one platform. Previously, before we had all these softwares, accounting softwares, people would use Excel spreadsheets for quotes and invoices and everything, and it just became a nightmare, because now you're creating a sheet for every invoice. If you're doing 100 invoices a day, you are essentially in trouble. So it's asking yourself, what job in the view of the customer segment are you trying to help them get done? And then also you can ask yourself, which customer needs are we satisfying? So there's a problem, there's a job, and then there's also needs. What needs are that you are trying to satisfy? And then at the same time, when you're in the view of all those questions, ask yourself, what bundles of products slash services are we offering to each segment in light of these things? So you must treat each segment on its own. So it is very possible to have, for example, the segmented customer segment. It's very possible to talk to two to three different customer segments with your with your one product. It's very possible. Like I made an example with a car dealership, they will sell to individuals. They will also sell to businesses on the basis of fleet. They may also sell to government. So they have three different kinds of customers. So you would ask yourself, when you have that, ask yourself for each segment, what bundles of products and services are we offering? Sometimes it's not bundles. If your service or your business is not bundled, when we talk about bundles, is that if a marketing agencies sell services, right? But if that marketing agency also has an app platform or a digital platform in which customers can store customer data, maybe a CRM system, um, then they have both a product and a service that they are selling to customers. But if you're predominantly just products or predominantly just services, you are also able to bundle these things. So, a marketing agency example again, instead of just selling a logo, you can sell a bundle of a logo, business card design, website design, blah 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 blah. So but that is also in how you bundle things is also it's also informed by the value proposition. So either the problem you're trying to solve, the job you're trying to get them to do, or the customer, the needs that they need to satisfy. So the products and the services are always informed by that. Don't make the mistake. Usually, we make the mistake of what is popular. For example, with Drip and Batu's success, everyone is starting sneaker brands. Um, and so we fall into traps of following trends rather than building proper businesses. And for that, you can make money for a certain period, but once that trend is dead, that business dies as well. So it's very important to build, and this helps you to build for the long term rather than you can use trends to inform decisions, but never follow a trend because it makes it you miss out on fundamental things. So you go because Batu and Drip are selling colorful sneakers, you go and design a sneaker that's also colorful, but you miss other issues that people you miss another segment. Maybe there's a segment of nurses that want fashionable, comfortable shoes. There's a segment of construction companies that are looking for safety sneakers. So people still look fashionable, but it's a safety shoe. There's so many things. So it's very important to understand that the view must always be from the customer. Each value proposition consists of selected bundles of products and or services that caters to that specific segment. So 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 your value proposition is essentially a benefits that your company offers to customers that others are not necessarily giving to them.